if I was to ask you, which console would you recommend to someone to buy this year? Would it be a PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 5 Pro, or would it be the Xbox Series console? In my view, without a shadow of a doubt, it would be the Xbox Series consoles. The reason being is because from day one, if the person subscribed to Game Pass, they have a plethora of games that they can choose from. In addition to that, there are new games coming into Game Pass this year: Indiana Jones, Flight Simulator, Stalker 2, and of course, in early next year, they would have Avowed Plane. So the value is there. I mean, any parent looking for a console to buy for their child this year, no doubt, the Xbox Series consoles is just simply a no-brainer. But then again, someone might say, of course you must say that, Island J, because you are an Xbox shield. You won't be incorrect by saying that, you pony. However, if I was to ask, say, IGN, who would you recommend a parent or anyone to buy this year? Would it be a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series console? Remember, guys, this is IGN. I wonder what would they say. Listen.
Okay, so if someone doesn't own a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series, they're going to buy one and only one this holiday season. Would you recommend an Xbox?
I would say Xbox just because of Game Pass. I think that's just really valuable. You get so many games, especially with Indiana Jones coming out, and I think you would just get way more for the value. So I would say Xbox.
Not bad, not bad. Now you.
Max, how about you? Which one would you recommend?
Oh, absolutely Xbox.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're looking at somebody who's trying to get in on the console generation at this point, and money's an issue, you can get the Series X is incredibly powerful. The PS5 Pro might be beating it, but it's obviously still like a very big, beefy machine right there. It's also got tons of storage space, and again, Game Pass is a huge factor here. If you don't want to spend too much money, you could get a Series S and get Game Pass as well. And like, I'm thinking about how much I would have lost my mind if I had Game Pass as a kid growing up and I didn't have a ton of money, because it's just, you get brand new games for no extra cost the day they come out, which is, again, I'm sure Microsoft is kind of scratching their heads over whether or not that was a good idea. It might have sort of disrupted the industry, but on the consumer end of things, that's pretty cool. I can't complain about that too much.
Wow, this is IGN of all places, and this is IGN PlayStation guy who has a PlayStation podcast, is saying that if he was to recommend a console this year for someone to buy, he would recommend an Xbox. Wow. So as the PlayStation community continue to try to keep their head above water,
Let's go.
Okay, first of all, let me just
yes, these ponies are still trying to contemplate why Lego Horizon, is getting a bad score. Why? Why is Lego Horizon not highly scored like all the rest of PlayStation games? These guys are sick.
She gave Starfield Shattered Space a better score. She gave Starfield Shattered Space 3 out of 5 stars. I mean, I can't imagine giving Lego Horizon 2 out of 5, basically calling it trash, and then giving 3 out of 5 to Shattered Space. Shattered Space got bad scores, like, basically everywhere. That just seems really, really weird. A 4 is so low. And I thought, I was like, 6 hours, I get why people are doing that. But with a little bit of research, we just showed it's basically well within line of other Lego games. It seems like you don't understand what Lego games are, because the average of 28 Lego games that we looked at, the average time to complete the main story is 10 hours. and multiple reviews are saying this is a 10-hour game. Three out of 5's not good. Right, but it's better than a 2. Homie, imagine giving a Lego Horizon a 2 out of 5. That, to me, that's trash. That's bad. That means it's like a horrible game. A 4? That's a failing grade. It should be utter refuse if you're going to give it a 4. You give it a 6 or a 7, you're like, yeah, it wasn't long enough. It was too fast. Whatever. Okay, but a 4? Those 2 4s are yanking the score down. That's a really bad score, bro. Like a 6 or a 7, you could be like, it was kind of boring. It was kind of mediocre.
Yes, these PlayStation fans are still coping because Lego Horizon got a terrible, horrible score. But today, what we are going to talk about? Today, we are going to talk about how Jeff Keighley is doing something very controversial. Yes, with the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley has basically opened the floodgate for the first time. I wonder why he's doing this. We'll investigate that. And then we'll look at how, you know, a lot of these ponies would have predicted that Microsoft is not producing any other console. But it just so happened that Phil Spencer put that talking point to rest. So you know what? Let's get it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. So before we continue the video, guys, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, because when you do that, of course, you get the best Xbox content you can ever get in this gaming streets. Yes, in addition to that, we report on the news on Nintendo, on PlayStation, and we give you guys the Sony pony salt coming in sweeter than sugar. Yeah, buddy. So if this type of content interests you, please hit that subscribe button. Now let's get back to the video. So as most of us know, Jeff Keighley is the proprietor of the Game Awards, and you know, over the years he would have grown the Game Awards to being a juggernaut in the gaming industry. It's a yearly event that he hosts that basically, you know, give the developers and the games that would have excelled in that particular year an award. But throughout the Game Award history, never did the Game Award ever had DLC or remasters or remakes being considered for Game of the Year. However, Jeff Keighley has announced that this year he is going to do exactly that. He's going to make remakes, remasters, and even DLC. They could be contenders for Game of the Year. Now this is somewhat controversial because we know that there is one company that excelled in remasters and remade this year, and that is without a doubt Sony. I mean, persons were calling Sony remaster station or remake station this year. So all of a sudden, Sony being in a year where it is they release some of the most remakes and remasters, all of a sudden Jeff Keighley is saying that remasters and remakes are okay to win Game of the Year. That seems to be too suspicious to me. Now, there's a lot of persons weighing in on this controversial step that Jeff Keighley would have taken for his Game Awards. But you know what is even surprising? That some ponies don't agree with this. That was the surprising part. Listen.
Yeah, I disagree with this as well. I don't think that a DLC or an expansion pack or even a remaster for that case should be something that should be allowed to be nominated as Game of the Year or like Best Game Direction or something like that.
I did forget Metaphor.
Oh yeah, Metaphor's gonna be there for sure. Yeah, Metaphor's gonna for sure.
The fact that they put this in, my bad, Persona, I know you're gonna go. The fact that they put this BS crap in there, and look at all those games that released, like Metaphor definitely deserves.
Yeah, that's gonna be there. Yeah, it's gonna be there.
There's so much games that came out this year that deserves to be in these categories. But the fact that you're putting a DLC or remaster in there takes away from one of those games. And we already know what game they're gonna put there.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Shadow of the Earth Tree was amazing. I love the hell out of it. But it should have its own category to recognize it. It shouldn't be in
just add a DLC.
game.
Yeah, just add a best DLC expansion category. Like, I don't understand why.
It was an amazing experience. It was amazing, but you're taking away from all the newer games that came out that should be in that category.
Yeah,
you're taking away a spot for another game to get some highlight. Because Jeff Keighley's show is not the only game awards. It's one of the biggest ones, or the biggest one, but it's not the only one. And you're taking away that highlight from other games that rightfully deserve that spot.
Yeah, no, I agree there. I don't agree with this. I do think that DLC expansions should be its own category. Just add a new category and get rid of some of that esports.
Wow, here we have even ponies disagreeing with Jeff Keighley's move here. And it makes sense. I mean, Jeff Keighley is rewarding lazy development. Jeff Keighley is rewarding this copy and paste epidemic that the gaming industry has. Why are they doing that? When there are good developers there who are coming up with new and exciting ways to play and should be rewarded for their, efforts in making games brand new for players to play. But let me hear what you think about this topic. Do you agree with Jeff Keighley? Are you saying that DLC for Call of Duty could win Game of the Year? New maps for Halo could win Game of the Year? New carts for Mario Kart could win Game of the Year? I mean, that is ridiculous. This is a sickness. Let me know what you think about it in the comment sections below. Next up, let's talk about new Xbox consoles coming in the near future. Recently, Phil Spencer and the team there at Xbox said that any system that has Game Pass is an Xbox. And of course, this would have sent the ponies into a frenzy. All of them in unison are saying that the Xbox is dead. They're saying that Xbox is getting out of the console business. Well, I expect nothing less from the group that they call themselves Pony and Horses, because it's very clear that they know nothing about business and they know nothing about the gaming industry for them to even make a comment to say that Xbox is getting out of the hardware business. In addition to that, these were the same guys who were saying, believe what Phil says. These ponies, that is what they said, believe what Phil says. Well, Phil on numerous occasions keeps saying that yes, he's excited about hardware and they are building new hardware for the near future. I mean, how many times would we hear Microsoft and the team saying that they are building new hardware?
We will continue to focus on hardware. It's an important part of our team and what we can go do.
And we actually have more creators right now building for Xbox than ever before by nature, thousands of them by nature of those investments. And we got more to come. There's some exciting stuff coming out in hardware that we're going to share this holiday. And we're also invested in the next generation roadmap. And what we're really focused on there is delivering the largest technical leap you will have ever seen in a hardware generation, which makes it better for players and better for creators and the visions that they're building.
Say sitting here today from our decisions on cloud, on Game Pass, on console, like right now, we have more Xbox console users than we've ever had in the history of Xbox. And even when I look at things like the impact of Game Pass, because I watch that and I love Game Pass, like how it showed up in the show today, I think was fantastic. But we also want people to be able to buy games. So I go back and I look and I say, okay, over the last 5 years, what's happened to third-party game sales on our platform? We're up double digits every year over the last 5 years on game sales on Xbox consoles.
Should I give you more evidence that there is going to be more Xbox consoles coming? These ponies are such potatoes. But you know what Phil Spencer did? He reiterated it again, helping the entire gaming industry to hear that, you know what, they are going to make more console. But not only he said that they are going to make more consoles, but he's also talking about a handheld console. So not only would it have a home console, it would also have a handheld console that is a few years away. He also says that the PlayStation 5 Pro is a waste of money. Phil Spencer is telling these ponies that they wasted money. But what I want to do is say shout out to Triller Ali. Triller Ali is a big Xbox guy, and he basically gave me some reasons why it is Microsoft will never stop making consoles. And all the points he's going to state here make so much sense. Listen to Triller Ali. Bro, can you make a video why Microsoft will never stop making console? Game Pass can't exist without the console platform. The games on Game Pass are all from Xbox dev kits. Sony and Nintendo would never be able to put Game Pass on their platforms because of the included third-party games. Now let me stop right here. This makes a lot of sense. We know that both Nintendo and Sony, they have their third-party deals, they have their third-party partners. Now, if Game Pass is to go onto any one of those platforms and there are those same games into Game Pass, it would, cannibalize their sales on that particular platform. So Sony or Nintendo will never consider putting Game Pass onto their platform because it would cannibalize their third-party sales, in essence making them lose money from these third-party. And that is very clear that you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. Let's continue. Even if Microsoft quit the hardware business, Game Pass will kill Sony and Nintendo's third-party sales. It's the developers making the console version of their games and putting them on Game Pass. It's the console version that's being streamed on all these other platforms outside of console, which increases their console sales. The PC version, PC Game Pass, needs to be optimized. It's not always plug and play. Now, I'm taking a guess that Microsoft may acquire Steam as the next acquisition. So this is one of his predictions. The Trump administration will fire Khan from the FTC. Trump is about American business first and deregulation. He probably would push the FCC to approve the merger. By announcing as a filtered party, they have a better chance at being approved by world regulators to acquire Steam. Steam and Microsoft have a good close relationship. Gabe Newell was a programmer and technical executive at Microsoft for 13 years, where he helped create the first version of Windows. In 1996, he left Microsoft with Mike Harrington to found Valve and develop Half-Life. With the next generation scheduled to have multiple PC launchers, owning Steam would give Microsoft a bigger cut of PC gaming, including Sony PC games, and Steam is the largest PC game distribution launcher. So it wouldn't really affect Microsoft if other PC launchers were on the same next-gen Xbox console because of the Steam acquisition. Wow. So I think Triller Ali might be onto something here. This makes so much sense. But let me hear what you think about everything that was said today. It's very clear that Microsoft is going to continue to make hardware because Microsoft will never relinquish their power on what they can do on their storefront when it comes to their games and how they want to package their games. By eliminating the console, Microsoft would essentially give the other players all the power. We're talking about Sony, we're talking about Nintendo, and even PC. So there's no way Microsoft would do that. So let me hear what you thought about that. Does that make sense to you? Let me know in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.